for the Salvage game. You guys can make base characters. You are doing Salvage, not a variation of it, but Salvage. Um, my suggestions are, since you guys went salvage hunters going off into the waste to bring back salvage, that you probably want to have like a driver, a mechanic, a gunner, and some kind of muscly guy, but that's just my suggestions.
And
However,
someone who's good at salvaging.
Yep. However difficult y'all want to make your lives, that's up to you guys. And then you guys are a rig crew facing the worst of things out in the planet Omega for looking for things to bring home the scrap and look for the next big salvage score. And I did put in the notes the option for you guys to do obligation, just like in Edge of Empire.
Okay.
So you can do the 5 obligation. Your starting obligation for this group would be 5, and then if you added yourself any additional, it would be the +5 for what, 2,000 plus 10 for 10,000 credits, or in this case, salvage.
Or the plus 10 XP, right? Is that what you said just a second ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't send anything a second ago, but there was stuff at the top of the conversation there.
Yeah, like I said, I had 82 messages. I was about to try to hack through that in 5 minutes.
And I'm not getting a response from Chris, which has me concerned.
I haven't seen much any activity from him for a little bit.
Yeah, I know he had some issues earlier this week where he got a bunch of spam messages. I got the same thing. I think the bots were doing their thing, and he accidentally unlisted himself from one of the other games. He's like, "Can you please put me back in that game?" I'm like, "I'm wondering why you abandoned that gaming group. That's like the second time." And apparently it was a conversation above, not below, that he was trying to get out of. I think the bots are trying their games again.
Damn dirty bots.
It's obviously Cybele.
Cybele thinks it's automatically Cybele.
Let me scroll up. Did Chris ever put what he thought he was interested in?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't recall.
He said he was still looking into it.
Yeah, this is of all the different Genesys systems, this is probably the one that's a little bit more out there.
No, the Crucible is out there.
Crucible? I haven't played that one.
Have you read Discworld?
No.
Are you aware of what Discworld is?
Not really, no.
Okay. So Discworld is a science fiction setting in which fantasy exists. And it basically hyper advanced Discworld, like a mega structure exists, and on it are all manner of species that are not the ones who built this, and are not aware it's an artificial construction. Magic exists on there, fantastical things, adventures. It's a fantasy setting that exists within a broader science fiction setting.
Yeah,
the Crucible is their riff on it.
Yeah, is horrible. Basically, the planet is a super science to the point of magic artificial construct mashed with like every other planet together, and it regularly kidnaps groups. Like there's a Federation, a Star Trek style Federation group. There's demons. There's ghost sharks that fly through the sky. There's orc battle bards who eat crystals and vomit caustic gas.
It's literally just a mashup of every single possible thing you could ever put into something.
Yep, it's
Huh.
Rifts with more Rifts mashup. You have the little green Martians from Mars Attacks.
Oh, I know Rifts. I played Rifts before.
Uh-huh. It's Rifts as if Rift was a rift of a rift, and they're all popped into the same pocket dimension.
Huh. Okay, I can kind of
Yeah,
picture that.
Crucible is one of the most jacked up settings. Let's put it this way: that setting book was the last official one when Fantasy Flight Games had the Genesys system. It was the last one they did, and they gave in that book the rules to make any race from any setting with anything needed. Because it's that messed up of a setting. You may want to create your plant creature that is sentient with 4 arms.
Yeah, it literally the book gives like 8 different species, and then it's like you probably don't even want to play any of these. Pick a thing that's never been seen on this, because that's completely normal. Make the race.
It's kind of cool.
And they, of course, riffed off the idea of like, oh, we have fairies that are artificial constructs. So they're like crystal fairies. Their whole job is to make the world go round and happen. So expect fairies to try to kill you. And you literally have a faction of drow elves out there.
That's pretty
Okay. So if we don't have an answer for what Chris is going for, can we look at previous games to see if there's just an archetype that he seems to always go for? Because a lot of people do fall into the hole of they just play kind of the same thing all the time.
This is true. Still
I try not to do that, but I don't blame anyone who does.
Because sometimes that does just make life easier.
It does. Like, if we can make a pretty good educated guess as to what he's going to be playing,
What do you guys think you're gonna do?
I'm going to wait until we take a look at what Chris has done. Jim,
Okay.
you play with Chris a decent amount.
So
What does he usually do? I know
his
Twilight
last
Imperium, he's
character,
playing smart.
yeah, he was playing smart. The previous game, he was playing dumb, pretty, and strong. In the age one,
Very
he played
opposite.
basically a Hercules meets Adonis. Let's see here. Let's flip through.
Midgard, he's playing a fisherman.
Yep. Let's see. Let's start popping through some lobbies here.
And if he hasn't said and hadn't selected, well, then he figures it out with whatever else everybody gets.
He hits the ground running. Let's see. In Starcana, he picked the android pilot.
Yeah, he's had quite a variety of different types of characters.
He skips around to make sure no two are the exact same. Let's see. He's not in that game. He's not in that game.
Jim, I hope you know I hope you're getting paid from Twitch, because I sat through ads to start up your stream, and now I'm sitting through ads again because you're on a break.
Let's see.
I mean, if he was the pilot in Starcana really did not get off the ground. No,
it did not.
That was an absolute
Sadly.
collapse.
It crashed and burned pretty quick.
I think that was more just circumstantial than anything else.
Yeah,
things just happen.
We could relegate him to that same role again.
You could let him be the driver.
Let him be the driver. Driver and backup gunner, since driver uses agility anyway. What are you thinking of, Dave?
Already stated what I was doing.
Yeah,
that's all well and good. I don't want to scroll. God damn it!
Gnome tinker.
Gnome tinker. So you got the smarts.
I don't know if it's smarts.
If you're a tinker,
he's going with the psychic salvage based power.
Yeah, it's just it's the salvage or the psychic thinker, but
Which
so
psychic
intellect,
power?
cunning, and willpower and brawn.
Which
Or
psychic
3
power?
at all of
do you
those.
pick?
Well, the
Yeah.
tinker is specifically what the hell is it?
Is it
Where the
presence
hell is it?
based?
Oh, which one is it? Let's see. No, did I not mark it on my character? It's
The Smurfs of the Genesis world.
basically telekinetics. It's they move stuff.
Okay, because I was, like I said, I was going to resurrect my mind reading firewall. Because I never really got to play him out as far as I really wanted to.
And what does his stat line look like? Mostly cunning or
I think
just
what I'm going to do
willpower? I mean,
is what it's looking like is mostly presence, because he's going to be more. It's going to be presence and agility, and as for combat, I'm going to take finesse so that he can use
Oh,
his
there it is. Yeah,
agility for his melee and brawl rolls.
okay, so we got presence and agility. We got agility in the form of the driver. Dave, you're going willpower and intellect, or
well, no, I'm 3s, and I'm kind of a general, so I'm 3 in brawn because they're strong. That's what they start with.
Yep.
So I'm 3 in intellect, 3 in cunning, and 3 in willpower. Because telekinetics uses will. So I have mechanics, salvaging, streetwise, charm, denial or telekinesis. So melee combat. So yeah. So I'm definitely the salvage salvage person and mechanic.
yeah.
I mean, somebody could be a more specialized, but I mean, I have the basic mechanics in doing the salvaging.
Which that definitely puts you in the salvage / jack of all trades ish.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the gnome, so I'm like, and I basically have taken the Death Dweller, Death Walker. So, he lives out by the, whatchamacallit.
Oh, that reminds me. I did see in the text somewhere that that you were gonna nerf the heat and dust effects a little bit. Is that still the case, or are you going full force at us with that again?
I'm going to be adding in the random table a lot more leeway of the nicer weather than the nasty weather. So it's a lot less likelier that the random table will come up with the ridiculous amounts of bad weather.
So it'll be
Okay,
the
so-
dry season instead of the rainy season this time.
So
Yep.
you're nerfing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that was a disaster. Like I
That
think
was
they
rough.
were a little too hard
I mean,
on.
there's a reason why in Dune you see everybody wearing still suits if they're not inside the stone cities.
Well, yeah, I mean that's true and all, but still, it makes it kind of hard to, like, get a session in when everybody's hiding in the truck until the weather passes.
Yep.
Yeah.
David and I were totally joking about that. The whole we spent an entire session trapped in the car.
Yeah, people getting lost, and it's like, oh, hey, wait, where are we again? I don't know.
Oh come on! There's nothing better than all those bad navigation rolls.
Well, especially when he was
Jesus,
rolling
yeah.
like 4 yellows and a green, and still was coming up with fails. Kind of reminds me of the other night.
Hey, the dice have been nasty lately.
Yeah, my first 3 rolls, every single negative dice had the maximum number of fails on it.
It's
You
like
missed
the
that
dice.
one, Joseph. I was rolling 4 yellows against 1 purple and 1 black, and still failed.
If you want to know something that you missed out on, you can go into the Discord and you can look in the Genesys system text chat and scroll up a bit to
That
see
screenshot you put. Oh.
to see what I rolled.
Which one is that? I'm kind of curious now.
In the Genesys system text channel for Jim's Discord.
The dice roller did him all kinds of dirty.
No, it did me all kinds of great.
Oh, you're meaning the good roll.
Yeah. The one that's never going to happen again in my life.
Yeah, when every so often you get those like 2 triumphs and it's
like 3 triumphs.
Oh, you got 3? Oh my god.
3 triumphs, 4 success, 3 threat.
Oh my gosh.
That was in Android, actually.
Oh, was it?
In the Sunday Android game.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, that's tomorrow too, isn't it? Oh, actually, the return of Dante.
Oh man, that upended that session entirely.
Yeah, a roll like that will.
Like we ended up getting chased by police. And then shooting at the police.
Why not? Why not? All right, let's see here. What am I doing?
You don't.
Jim, can you set us up new character sheets, or do you just want us to completely?
I can set you up new character
rewrite
sheets.
the old ones.
Just leave mine the way it is because I'm just manipulating that one.
Yeah, but he was already way experienced, so.
Well,
You're
that's
gonna
what I'm
need a
saying.
new one.
I'm manipulating that particular character sheet right now, taking away a lot of stuff.
Oh, don't do that.
What if, a new one.
What if you
Yeah,
know? What if you
do a
come
new
up
one.
with playing another game and we want to bring that character back from the grave? Don't jack him up like that.
Already did. It's too late now.
So Joseph, there's an Eleb with your name on it, so to speak.
Eleb.
Evan, there's Kakawa with your name on it.
I don't see an Eleb. I see a.
Well, like I said, I already jacked up my old character sheet, so I might as well just keep doing that.
You can start fresh. That way you know it's not all screwed up or any tweaked numbers.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So
I don't see an Elab. I see an Edemu and a Kaoka.
Which one's mine? Cloaca?
Cloaca. God. There's.
I would totally say Kakawa is how you pronounce that, but hey, whichever way you want to pronounce it. His Roll20 pops up a little at everything all at once.
Man, I can't tell you guys how good it is to be out of the hospital. I swear. That's like the worst place to spend any amount of time.
Yep.
And David, there's a Edemu. It's got your name on it.
Alrighty.
You say, do you see them?
I don't, because I'm not looking yet, but.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're not looking, you're not gonna see them. And I totally threw a poll out in the Skype chat for where you guys want to start your adventure. Hopefully, the massive amount of Skype blips will let somebody know that we're talking in Skype about him, and he'll totally
Right?
log in.
He'll figure it out eventually. So yeah, my character's presence is his highest score. It's going to be 4, just FYI.
Sounds like we've got a face man.
Face and or a little bit of combat too.
Yeah, I guess that one might have to do. All right. Boop, boop, boop. All right, let's see. What do we got? We up to the top? Okay, we're at the top.
And someone's cat is very insistent.
Yeah, he wants attention.
Obviously, the Nomies have some cloned cats, you know. Unfortunately for them, the cats were supposed to be well adopted for the terrain. And these cats, unfortunately, are hairless.
I think I'll just be going the breaker route then.
What's that one?
Hacker, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the best I could find. Sadly, they don't make. There's not really any gnome artwork out there.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, he's supposed to have more stuff coming out, but he has not produced anything.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, people aren't playing enough either. That
Yeah.
or something because they haven't created, material.
Yeah. Because I'm still hoping someday that adventure he talks about at the end of the book gets published.
Oops.
Be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And agility is not my thing.
That's going to be your dump stat.
They're kind of tall, large, and
They're a little gangly.
yeah. Well, big, clumsy things. So yeah, I'm a agility of 1. That's why you have telekinesis to pull shit to you
Yep.
instead of climbing on shit.
As you totally look at the rest of the crew saying, I'm going to climb up that. I'm going to break my neck.
Pretty much. All right. Right.
And the crew's going to have a hacker on board, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can hack or I can fix stuff because Deckers all get mechanics.
True that.
Since our Tinker doesn't live up to the name of Tinker.
Man, you're talking all kinds of crap today already,
No.
aren't you?
Like they're called a Tinker, but they're not tinkers. They don't tinker with things. They're tinkers.
Yeah, it's
they
kind of
have
a weird
scrap
name for telekinetic, but
they're tinkers because they walk around with a pouch full of scrap that tinkers around as they walk, and they use that as a telekinetic weapon to just fire out as fucking shrapnel shot.
Actually, not that much, because to use that is like, to actually use it for damage is extreme, like ability. They make it really unusable for that, because I think to do damage, I think it's a 4 purple to do that, which is stupid.
Yeah, I think the intention of it is to move like the it seems like the way they envisioned it is that you move things slowly and carefully and not like flinging things around like in Star Wars.
I mean, if you want to rethink that, we're still at session 0. You're not committed to anything yet.
Well, no, I have intent on it. Like I said, the desert dweller that I know, because his does your thing do salvage?
I don't get it as a thing.
Right. So
I'll
mine
be
starts
decker,
with
so
salvage. So
yes, I'll be a decker, so I still have 3 cunning, but
yeah. So I'm like the desert salvage dude, and use the, like I said, the telekinesis to obtain scrap that might not be easily obtained because
You
of
obtain the
it,
unobtainable.
because I can maneuver it out. Plus, I got resilience as a
Jim,
skill.
what are we using for navigation? Astrocartography, or are we using knowledge geography?
Give me just a sec. I'm just double checking to make sure the skill list for salvage wasn't a set 1. It is.
I mean, they specifically made knowledge geography, planetary geography.
Yeah, planetary geography. Omega is a terrible new home full of challenging landscapes and dangerous conditions. Knowledge planetary geography represents the understanding of the planet's physical features, terrain, biomes, and atmosphere. It also represents a general understanding of locations and how humans interact with them. This skill can be used in conjunction with salvage talents to specialize further under planetary botany or zoology. So you could either use that, or you could use the astrogation, or survival. I would say
Yeah.
pick one that you like on your character, and that's the one that works for your character. So that way everybody doesn't dump a bunch of points at different skills.
Sounds good.
Because there's nothing worse than having to dump a bunch of points in a bunch of different skills. And that's how the navigation works for you. If it's survival, it's more you read the landmarks. If it's astrogation, you go by the sky and the stars. And if it's planetary geography, it's kind of a mix between the two, and a solid guess.
And I also have the Onai lore. That's the
The extinct alien race
creatures.
that left the killer robots behind.
Yeah, so that might come in handy as well.
There's nothing worse than when Rosie the maid tries to murder you.
The only thing worse is when she succeeds in murdering you.
Well, I mean, seeing as she's 8 foot tall and has scythes for arms, I mean, I gotta say, reading through the ancients' background, they sure had a lot of really dangerous fucking robots for a mostly peaceful organization.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they're peaceful.
That's how they stayed peaceful.
Sometimes you gotta have power to, enforce that.
And that's how the leadership cast can do such a thing, is with lots of deadly, deadly robots.
What? You jealous your brother was getting attention?
Okay, so we've got, I'm going to shoot Chris a message in the Skype chat asking if he's good being the driver guy.
If not, too bad.
Then your salvage group will be living on foot. It takes you 6 weeks to get to each salvage location. Good luck.
Hey, that's about how long it took with Anshin as the navigator.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say,
right.
I think the navigation is more important than the driving skill.
I mean, unless it's like road hazards, which are pretty far and few between, the knowing where to go in a empty wasteland is more important than knowing how to drive there. It's like, so we hit the sand dunes. Where do we go next? I don't know. We're going to die. How much supplies do you have so you know how long you can live out there dying in the desert?
Translation: how many times can you roll a failure before you die?
Oh, I got a Chris response. Oh, that's right. This weekend he's at the convention. Oh, that's right. He did mention that on Monday, didn't he?
Maybe.
He says that would be great. So expect him to be the driver.
Perfect.
So we have a driver. We have a telekinetic, pretty smart, well-rounded, smart guy because he's been genetically engineered to be smart. And we have an either current or possibly semi-retired lawman.
That's me.
Now, of course, the question is, why are you on this crew?
Well, kind of wanted to, once everybody kind of had the concepts, decide whether I was there to kind of look out after them, or if it was like an officially sanctioned thing, or if he was maybe a little crooked, looking to make a little on the side, something like that.
Well, these guys are honest salvagers. They go out, they find salvage, they come back.
Well, that being the case, I think maybe he's kind of, taking a vested interest in, for a small, for a portion, in basically protecting them and, keeping things above board. And making sure they stay that way.
Oh, be careful. That's how somebody gets left in the desert.
Well, he's got maybe a little bit of moral flexibility.
Mm.
And I take it you're going with an actual like last time?
Yeah, basically, I'm just taking Thorn and I'm readjusting him back to a level 0 character. He's going to be your, the same sort of concept, a telepathic firewall.
Oh, that's nice. I get 1 blue to my 1 dice stealth ability. How nice. So I have horns, and I can change the coloring of my skin.
There you go.
That's kind of nifty. Like a chameleon.
Classic Nomi skills.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. Your ancestors owed the gnome because they were the ship that stayed awake while everybody else was in cryo in the flotilla. Unfortunately, while they were awake, there were a bunch of genetic engineers that got bored. And they decided, hey, let's play with our genomes.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of hard with the
Do what I did.
experience to get set up. It was like, if it wasn't for
The obligation.
the obligation, yeah, it'd have been kind of hurting on a couple parts to be able to do much. Because one of them cost 5 experience, one of them gained me 5 experience, and it put everything into the stats to get them reasonable.
Get them nice and crunchy.
Because unfortunately, I needed like all 3 of those better than normal for like the capabilities. So yeah, it was like, okay, this is a weird and a pain. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, all brand new characters are always a little bit, light on something somewhere.
But hey, I get +1 soak as a Nomi.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And I got a pretty blue skin. So
Whenever you don't want to, go chameleon on it.
right.
And in the Edge of Empire Far Horizons book, our lawman may want to check out the Marshal for some inspiration and ideas if you needed some.
Yep, I already kind of was thinking about that.
As well as the
Since I play a
business
Marshal in
aspect.
the other game too.
Okay, so let's see.
I'm like, let me find my generic session 0 questions. Okay, so for this campaign, do we want to put any limits on how long the campaign's going to go? Like a 3-month, 6-month, 5 sessions?
I don't particularly want a limit. It's just a matter of if it's still fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I still want to play it.
Yeah, I like when a campaign is going well, I don't like it to end.
Okay, and we all know Salvage is a pain in the ass setting, full of death and, despair, and that's just from getting up in the morning.
Just like real life.
For player absences, we'll say the usual thing. We want 3 or more players. We'll still look at getting a 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Let's see, because the vehicle can totally take another person.
Yeah.
In regards to in-game politics and factions, this game is kind of based on that concept. Is there any limit you guys are looking for in the politics or factions?
I would love to see politics. I'm playing a holder, for fuck's sakes.
I like a little bit of politics. I just don't like it when characters turn hostile against each other.
Says the law dog in the group.
No, I mean in any game, really. I like to think of it as being a more cooperative thing than a working against each other kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Any World of Darkness game. Let's see. Those questions aren't pertinent. I have too many sessions, 0 notes for different campaigns. Let's see. What's this one say? So, it is the world of Salvage, which I totally look like in Salvage, like the, Dark Sun from D&D. How morals become a little looser when life and death is on the line just on a daily basis. So are you guys wanting to be heroes, folks just getting by, or willing to be villainous?
I'm willing to be villainous.
That makes it a little hard when we get violence because violent politics because of the sheriff.
Well, like I said, I'm willing to entertain a certain amount of moral flexibility, but not like outright villainous. I prefer not to be outright villainous, but a little bit of moral flexibility. Okay, I can handle that.
Uh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about villainous per se, but opportunist.
Yeah, so that's kind of more
I mean,
the
I'm all
moral.
about surviving and stuff, but
Yeah, it's a little bit more in the morally gray category.
Totally throw that quick little poll out there. You only get 1 vote, so choose wisely. Because apparently I just got spammed by some probably bots. It's bad when the bot says you have to click a button to translate what they just sent you.
I was going to say, it wasn't me this time.
all right, let's jump over.
Okay. So I remember last time we had a really good intro to getting you Big Blue, that rig that you guys used in that last campaign. Is there any suggestions of what you're going to have to do to get your first rig in this campaign?
I don't know. Have we decided where we're starting? Petra, it
Um,
looks like.
most of the votes are going for Petra, it looks like. It looks like everyone has almost voted. We're missing. It looks like a Joseph vote. No, Joseph did vote.
No, I voted.
Yeah, everybody
Well, there's
voted. So it
4 votes.
looks like you're starting in Petra.
Yep.
I mean, Petra is the biggest, quote unquote cities.
Well, I don't know. Valkyrie Rock's pretty big.
Valkyrie's kind of important for anyone with medical problems.
All right, to perception and survival. All right. Nice. Survival's looking up. All right.
Oh, there's just never enough XP to start with.
Nope. There's your
You gotta
motivation.
build.
Go out and do
That's what
things.
motivation's for.
That's what you build for. I mean, you start off and build up. That's what I had to do. Oh.
You're Ash Ketchum getting ready to go pick up your first Pokemon.
Okay, backgrounds. Where's that? Now, where at in the colony of Petra are we from, or operating out of, or what, or starting in?
Well, unless you got somebody that has a good reason for being inside the wall with the fancy aristocrats of the colony, you're probably out in the outer edge.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well.
I think Evan and I are both from the hold.
Yeah.
I would be hanging out in the sprawl because they wouldn't really want me in the hold or the other spots.
You could be an entertainer. You could be entertaining people, like a jester.
Or a clown.
Yeah, I'll just you.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Don't know what you mean.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. We gotta have metal. And remember to operate your metal, because I think we got kind of bad
You
about
guys
that.
got kind of bad about the dealing with the metal points. Yeah,
Yeah, we
there was
would
a couple
forget about that
times it
shit.
could have helped you out there in advance.
Yeah.
So I totally just threw a poll out there in the Skype on your salvage rig. Is it borrowed, as in somebody's giving it to you as a loaner, so don't scratch the paint job because you know you're going to owe them for every ding, dent, and bit of mileage you put on it. Air quotes, borrowed. Payment for a job, which will be your first job, or a salvaged piece of scrap, which means this thing is going to have so many crits on it already, or an obligation for the group or loan. You know, sort of like Big Blue was. And then you guys got ridiculously lucky and paid off that loan in no time.
Yeah.
You guys had a hell of a score, and the fact that you all sacrificed the score to pay off Big Blue first step was a sign of pure salvage wisdom.
All right, let's see what do we got here.
And I think, as opposed to being as ridiculously complicated as I was last time, giving everybody, like, here are 4 options of allies and enemies. And, you know, I made 3 different pools for each of you guys. And it's funny how some of y'all, like, pick the same pools. I mean, we'll totally have to bring back a certain NPC because, you know, she was too good to let die, even though you guys took her out.
I know. Well, this is now a
Scrapper
prequel series.
Kara.
That
Mob
was
boss
horrifying, by
Jamet.
the way. I still have nightmares about that.
Elong, the hazard enforcer of Mod Boss Jamet. And it's funny because those are like the first NPCs on my list on my screen. I'm like, what else? I have lots of stuff we put into this game. Bunch of different creatures I stole from other Genesys settings. The Sand Panther.
Hey, as long as it's not the same as that fucking wolf from Midgard. Fuck.
Oh, that was fucking brutal. obviously, like I said, I wasn't kidding. You guys are going to be telling tales of that wolf dog, and people are going to be saying it was Fenris's firstborn on Midgard. Cubus, look at that roll.
Unculus. Dunculus.
Because, of course, I just had to add some more flora and fauna to the planet. Because even though the planet's mostly dead, it needs more flora and fauna. And for shits and giggles, you guys are on the in Roll20 on the map page, right? Yeah.
Yep.
We will totally keep the old map alive.
Nice. Did you go Decker, Joseph, or?
I did.
Nice.
And I'm just finally getting to the
cybernetics.
I figured it had to do something different race-wise.
Yeah. Yeah, because last time I played a Duster actual. So it's like, all right, let's do something not boring.
Right. Well, that was just it. I think we were all, other than, I'm not even going to say the name.
Gnome.
Other
than Raymond's gnome. And
yeah, but he was there like a minute. So
he was there exactly one session.
So
he was there in order to get into a fight at the gas station. That was it.
Yeah. Other than the name I won't mention,
Cybele thought she was very funny.
Oh my god!
Come on, Cybele thought Cybele was hilarious. Cybele thought Cybele was the Cybeliest Cybele ever. And then you find out Cybele got Cybele's personality by watching the show Sybil. Only the audio file was jacked up.
It was like, oh my god.
Okay, so I'm thinking the poll has been completed for the vehicle. So you guys gotta get a vehicle.
Well, yeah, that would be helpful. Is it going to be the same vehicle? I don't think they have much other choice, do they?
Yeah, unfortunately, they only have the rig. I've added some vehicles into it, stealing from a couple other games, but those are more expensive, more fancy vehicles.
Ooh, so we can upgrade at least.
Yeah, there's totally the, in case you're interested, vehicle-wise, there's the Hunchback Construction Strider. It's basically an AT-AT walker. Requires one pilot, one engineer. It's got 3 hard points.
Nice.
The Hunchback is a lightweight utility walker designed for construction and civil engineering work. Similar to the Republic's ATPT, the Hunchback is a bipedal walker with a sturdy, lightly armored slab rectangular command pod perched atop a pair of powerful, reverse articulated legs. And how long they last in the open desert, you don't want to know. Okay, so it looks like everyone has voted, and your rig is going to be payment for your first job. So the question is, with 2 of you guys being given access to inside the hold, are you more of an aristocrat salvage crew, or are you guys scruffy dustlanders? I mean, you got a gnome in the crew. That's fairly high ranking as crew members go, in my opinion.
I was thinking I was more of a dustlander that kind of got recruited and was like kind of fish out of water in the hold a little bit.
So you went with the Dustlander as your background?
I think so, yeah.
Same here. So I mean, that's definitely not aristocrat or nothing, but
Yeah, mine's kind of like more of a rags to riches kind of scenario.
besides I'm a gnome, so yeah, I'm not probably. So I mean, others may be fancy in the crew, but yeah.
Okay, let me give you a couple quick options here. Let's see.
Yeah, so it's 3 purple to use. Yeah, the push an object for action for damage. So it's not an easy attack.
Get it
Significantly
up to
harder than
railgun speed. But it does make for a good handy backup attack.
No, yeah.
Well, for my mechatronic, I chose biomechatronic ports, which means that it doesn't actually do anything. But the next 4 I get don't reduce my strain threshold and become easier to install.
You're that young Decker that's just like, I'm gonna get rich and get cybernetics galore. I put ports in all these special places.
Exactly.
Would you like to play with my ports?
Give me enough money and I'll have a multi-tool and some heat insulation and a halo and a torch finger, and I'll just become a one-man auto shop.
And on a bad day, you'll be stuck with everybody else in the cab of the rig because nobody can go out and fix the axle.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's what the heat shielding was for, or the heat insulation's for. Anytime I would take strain from extreme heat, reduce it by 4.
Oh, and with that action to no, that's increase silhouette. Sorry. Increase the silhouette of the object to silhouette 3. And that's a +6 power strain.
Damn.
Yeah.
To be fair, silhouette 3 is like a city bus.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, remember, something the size of a Rancor is, silhouette 2.
High silhouette 2.
Yeah.
But I could potentially do it. Not yet. I have to have 3 ranks, but.
All right, I'm starting the game with no weapon.
Oh,
Wow.
brave man.
I needed the money. I got me some microlattice armor.
Ooh.
It's like I'm a rich bitch. I ain't putting up with no shitty scrap armor.
Well, I do have microlattice myself, but I do have a weapon. I have a staff.
And then you bought nothing else.
A torch. Oh, and a utility belt.
That's always a must.
So, but I think I did. What was it? I did the. I can't remember what the offer was, but I took 10 obligation, whatever that gave me experience. Did that just give experience, or did we get experience and money at
Well, it
10?
depends
I
on
don't
how
remember.
you're wanting to break it down. Because remember, it's what 2,500 for 5 obligation, or 5 experience.
No, that's for 10.
Or
It's 2,500 is for 10 obligation.
okay. Yeah, and then if you split it 5 and 5, you go 5 for experience, 5 for cash. That gives you the smaller pick of each, but you get both.
Yeah, I think that's where I went. So I got the extra cash hit to afford a weapon, and then get one more set of 5 to buy a skill. And I think.
Yep, I took 10 obligation.
I mean, I would do it. Now the question is,
I'm
what
good.
obligation are you picking?
That's an excellent question. I know I'm
Yeah,
getting 10 of it.
Right? That's the one part I have not, I don't think,
And
had
if you're
added
looking
yet.
for good ones that will work for the setting, I would look in the far reaches. It's basically the colonist fluff book for Edge of Empire, because that gives ones that are slightly more appropriate for this kind of environment, and it gives really good examples. As I'm making a quick list here.
Okay.
Going to give you some slightly different ones than last time, so it's not just the mob boss.
Right now I need to look that up. Acrylate armor is a 1 defense and soak. All right. One hard point. All right. Staff
Thank
to
you, Don John website, for automating the generation of a name for me. It makes things so much easier to not have to think about it. I just had it tell me, or I had it generate male names that fit into the Serenity universe, because I feel like that's the closest of the choices.
You know, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think so. I still look back and I'm kind of shocked that Serenity didn't do better, get a second season and all that.
I mean,
Thank you, Fox.
it failed straight out of the box because for some reason Fox aired the first 3 episodes out of order.
Yep. Because they want it to be more exciting.
I didn't know that.
Give us Train Job instead of, the pilot.
Oh shoot. Granny is 1. Tier 1 talent. Psych discovery. Forgot to add that. Forgot to add my psychic discovery to
Oh, yeah.
my talent list because it's actually talent. It's like, oh yeah, passive and ranked. All right, because that also gets me a associated with psychic abilities. Okay. I thought that got them the charm too, but I guess not. The tokens or whatever we carry.
The links.
Links.
Yeah,
Links.
links. Yeah, I guess I don't get it until you get something else.
It's probably the talent.
Well, no, that's what I'm looking at. Psychic discovery. Let's see. You take the talent, your character gains one psychic skill of your choice. That's a career skill. Your character may now use associated psychic abilities. See page. Now, it's not until you get like psychic clarity that your character gains a link from Stranger Society. Or you take psychic serenity, then you get a link. But the basic psychic discovery did not get you the link. Kind of interesting.
Well, think
it
about
would.
it. You know, the discovery means I'm psychic. Doesn't mean you've actually practiced with somebody who, like, hey kid, let me teach you so you don't hurt
Sure.
yourself.
Sure.
I gotta teach
That's
you the
right.
secret handshake, kid.
That's right. I got the Dustwalker link, so. Mark of the Dustwalker. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I think that does me. Pretty stout. I got 14 wound, 14 strain.
Hey, that's pretty tough. We do know in this setting from previous experience, you want to make sure you have tons of strain, because that's where it's coming from.
Yep.
Or a way to mitigate it.
Yeah, well, that's where you get the psychic, whatchamacallit, serenity, or psychic serenity.
I was thinking more about like the physical strain and stuff like that. Just from
Well, no, but you take strain for your psychic ability, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do from that as well. That's true.
You'll need to mitigate that so you don't burn yourself out.
Right, so you get psychic serenity, which gives you psychic soak.
Lets you use your powers way more often.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Action.
Oh, I guess I gotta go. Character.
And of course, on the list of patrons, I have to add our favorite mod boss.
Yeah.
He'll be an option. The silence of session zeros.
Right?
Just filling in blanks.
Right. Everybody's trying to figure stuff out, like putting stuff in.
Yeah, I'm choosing my links now.
Multiple links. Did you take popular?
Yes, I did, and I'm a holder, so I get 5 links.
Whoa.
Jeez.
You're very friendly with many people.
Whatever. Yeah, like I said, I'm happy with just my one. Okay, I think I got everything. Direct ability, spend credits, choose career, did all that. Background. Okay. Oh, I don't know that I did a faction. Do I want a faction?
I mean, it never hurts.
Oh, wait, I need to definitely read that because you may choose to belong to a faction with the benefits described or gain additional XP to spend. Well, shit.
I was like, what are you talking about there?
I need to go
really?
read that because
What are you reading? It sounds interesting.
it's
Factions allow you to, if you
character
choose not to
creation.
take a faction, you can get 15 XP.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad somebody mentioned that.
I missed that
Wow. Folks
in the
ain't reading the
past.
details.
Jim
Right?
could just say no.
It's in the rule books, man.
Yes, but like the alternative to it is doing something like obligation.
Oh, I'm
Is it
gonna
in
let you guys
addition
do
to or-
obligation as well. That was the whole point. So you can further
Ah,
buff yourself.
all
Well, I
right.
mean, if you're taking a faction, getting stuff, then there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to get the XP because we're not getting those benefits. So
Yeah.
let's see where it goes.
It just means if you're going factionless, you're making your life a lot more difficult.
That doesn't mean you can't earn links, though, right?
No, links are a separate thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just means you don't belong to any of the factions, so nobody's gonna give a shit about you.
Yeah, nobody's gonna come pick you up when you're face down in the dirt.
When Salvage or Kira leaves you out there stabbed in the back and done, nobody's gonna care.
All right. I have my 5 links. 2 of them are entirely made up.
Yeah.
Still may come in handy.
Huh. The Dustborn faction's actually not too bad.
And reduces the crits.
Reduces well, and they're not like overly,
Demanding.
yeah, they're not crazy or anything. They just think that they were born to the planet, and they belong to the planet, and the planet belongs to them. And it's not Omega; it's Dustland or Domus.
They don't want to try to go home. If somebody was to say build a ship, these would be the fanatics that blow the ship up.
Yeah, well, there is that maybe, but that's if. That 15 experience, though.
Dang.
That's where I'm going with you.
Versus the sandblasted, but the Dustborn does kind of fit my character better. Being actually part of it, living, being a gnome and living out in the
It's like you can get XP later. You can't get a faction later.
Yep.
right.
It
But
is
for me,
nice when you have a faction and they'll just openly let you into their area.
yeah, for my character, though, since he's kind of a creature of both worlds a little bit, it kind of makes sense that he wouldn't really belong to either one.
Yeah, well, and plus, they're the part of the thing Dustborn credit as a reason there are a higher percentage of psychic power wielders among their ranks. So, but their domain, lets them into their domain. Well, that's my domain, the whole planet. The planet is mine, and I am the planet. So, of course, they're going to let me into it. It's all you interlopers.
Wow. Some of those nobies just went native real quick. I was made for this world. I can never go back. 103 years ago when the ships crashed, it was the desert's will.
I'll put that over here.
I am the chosen one. And then we have him going like worse than the freaking storm priests or the shepherds.
Crap.
Crap.
Oh no, the cut and paste didn't take, and so I pasted something long that I didn't want.
Yeah.
That was I just got not a huge thing, but
Skype, you failed me. I can only have 5 options in a poll.
are you kidding me?
Okay, so there'll be multiple polls. I mean, you might end up with 2 allies and 1 nemesis. How about that? Because I was going to literally just paste all of the allies and nemesis as 1 post for ally and 1 post for nemesis, and you pick from the same list for which one. And if you guys fuck with me and pick the same one for both, I'll break that tie. I'll break that shit quick.
Wow.
Like you guys pulling that crap on me?
Sounds like
we
a threat.
ain't playing that.
No, we don't play that game.
No, we don't play that game.
Threatening us like that. All right. All right. Got my faction added and abilities. All right. Let's see what you post. What kind of propaganda are you posting here?
Hey, y'all are the ones that want to live on a shitty planet.
I don't think we had a chance.
Yeah, I don't really feel like we were given a choice in the matter, but okay.
There was totally choice. You could have lived in a. I would have wrote up a Borderlands setting for Genesys. It would have been Salvage without the ridiculous 4 purple weather.
Instead, we would have just had the occasional slag storm.
Wait, how did we? What the hell happened there?
What are you talking about?
The salvage rig. All of a sudden, we got 3 all the way down. Like, what the hell is that? Who voted more than once?
Probably was the one I did.
Hmm. Wait, so wait, you got a list of people, but then you got
There's a big list of people. I can tell you for a fact it's 10 people long. And
You only
there's,
gave 5. There we go.
and there's the other allies, as I'm doing it right now. And now we're going to do the same poll, but for Nemesis instead of
Oh,
ally.
there she is. Okay.
Uh-oh, it sounds like somebody already had a person picked.
I do have a person picked, yes.
So we picked 2 allies and 1 nemesis?
No,
Or-
you're going to see the same kind of pool, because I can only give you 5 options.
Oh, so we just pick 1 and 1?
Yep, pick 1 and 1.
Okay.
And that'll give you some obligation fodder for when you're coming up with your idea for your obligation.
Alright, so I'm gonna finish getting my character sheet filled out, and then I'll deal with that.
And just to be a jerk on the Nemesis table, you can only make 1 pick, as opposed to the ally, you can pick multiple.
Mm.
At this point, Chris is probably saying, "What are they doing in the chat?" But on the plus side, he is at the convention and having a good time.
He's at the convention. If he ain't in a game, he could be on his phone chatting for a minute. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, we can only hope that mob boss Jahamid can come back into play.
Right?
Wow. Except he's not a choice
Hey, yes.
for a
He-
nemesis. Oh, there he is.
I was going to say, because I was still creating the poll as we were talking there. Remember, I had to make the poll twice. Once for the first half,
I
and
know.
once for the second half. Oh, someone is picking him for the nemesis? That's got to be Evan. Evan, did you pick him for a nemesis?
I haven't done any of those yet.
I thought you were having bad flashbacks to the last campaign.
Instead, it's
No,
Dave and I that both chose him as a nemesis.
I was
Well,
probably
he's a counter
nemesis.
to.
Yeah, anyway.
He's a counter to my good trade person.
And what's very funny is I chose him as both an ally and a nemesis.
Jerk.
Oh, interesting.
figures, confused person. So no, I chose Leah as an ally who does trade and does medical and all that good stuff.
And
And
she's
then-
a Nomi. I mean,
And she didn't know me, so a little trust there. And then of course the mob boss, he's kind of counter to that. So competition and black market.
nobody wants to deal with a high priestess storm shepherd.
Pass.
0% chance.
I mean, she's creating her own religion in the desert.
Well, definitely don't want to have to be countering her people. So while we're out
You
in
want
the desert running
nothing
around,
to do with those people.
but not on a bad point. No.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me an idea.
Oh, that's funny. Somebody made a joke about Zeus. When you think he's told you about all of his illegitimate children, and then it's that Yoda picture in Empire Strikes Back. There is another.
Yeah.
Another there is.
And another. And
another.
Oh, apparently people are going crazy at nightfall, having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly, I don't think I'm doing nightfall this year.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Yeah.
I mean, I got 2 cons back to back in November. Speaking of which, it looks like tomorrow is the last day to get the donation T-shirt for TestCon. Ooh, I'm seeing many of you picking Mod Boss Jahamid as your nemesis. I'm liking this.
Yeah, I was the one who picked Captain Miro for the ally.
No, I figured that one was. All right. I got obligation. It's not a formal obligation, but it fits for this.
I like how you say not a formal obligation.
Well, you can read it and you can tell me. I'm sure I could probably find something that it would fall under, but instead of going looking under the books, then
Okay, let's sneak a peek.
yep.
Sneakity, sneakity, sneak.
I'm sure you'll find it quite acceptable.
And while we're
It's on the
sneaking a peek
it's on the last page.
on the note tab.
Yes,
Okay.
where I have all my additional quick reference information.
Let's see. Oh, I forgot this is using Android, so it doesn't have obligations set up.
Oh yeah, no. So that's why I had to put it under notes, along with metal, psych soak, and
Yeah.
faction, background.
So we're going to pull player group sheets and
I suppose
use
you could
the
just
group
call it.
tasks for obligation.
I suppose you could just call it by her name.
Let's see. Only one character's got a blue face on it, so it's got to be yours.
Yeah, that's the best I could find. There's, like I said, not a lot of gnome options out there.
Just put blue tiefling with horns, and I'm sure a bunch of crazy crap will come
Well, I
up.
did blue humanoid with horns, and yeah.
Did
just
you try
all kinds of
generating
stuff.
an image?
Nah.
Oh, there you go, getting fancy.
Use a Dolly or Stable Diffusion?
Yeah. Nah. The one I've got, it works enough. It's simple, but that's all right. It works.
And are you sticking with that name, Edmu?
No, I'll be changing that. But I
Okay.
figured I'm not gonna move anything because otherwise you'll be fighting with you while you were reading my sheet.
Okay, that's a good obligation. I like that.
I thought so.
Especially with her background, definitely makes
Yep.
it super snazzy and easy.
Yep.
What the heck? Oh, there we go. Shoot.
All right.
The one that let me add a weapon, darn it.
No weapons for you.
Guess not.
Apparently,
Not
no
allowed.
weapons.
Weird.
Alright, I think I have all of my character stuff set up except for like writing the story.
I need to do my item inventory. Maybe I just need to refresh the.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
much
if it's
set.
giving you issues, I would hit the refresh just to start over.
Yeah, that's I think what I'm gonna have to do.
He's probably, I don't know, 23, let's say.
It's hard to tell when that skin keeps changing color.
And he's like, probably, what does it give a height range? I don't remember. I just know it says tall, but.
For the Nomies, let me see.
Yeah.
Nomies.
The gnome boy.
They're tall and bulky. They're thick-skinned,
Yeah.
typically in shades of green or gray.
Yeah, so it doesn't say how tall, so. Alright. 6'3" is probably good enough.
Yep. Taller than 5'8", I would say. When you say tall, that's what I think of. Taller than 5'8".
Alright. Her lovely home. Yay. And the funky lady in the bottom right of the map.
I was gonna say which funky lady you talking about?
The little
Oh yeah,
lady.
Scrapper Kira. Because she was totally put on your map with a feeling of love and appreciation.
Old Blue Holler. Look at that. It's just a scrap out in the desert now, huh? Old Blue?
Up at the north, some mysterious crash site where some guys are doing all kinds of crap on a ship, trying to fix it up. Not telling anybody it's out there because they know the scrappers will come in arms to claim the place.
Yeah, that's Petra. Where was Valkyrie?
Valkyrie Rock is to the southwest of Petra. You
So
got
there's Val Rock on top of it.
That's what I'm looking. Oh, there we go.
Give you a slow ping. Ping,
Had to
ping.
zoom in far enough to read the typing that I had done. All right.
We now know from previous game history there's the ruins of the old settlers colony that somebody thankfully cleaned out the scabs, so those cannibals are no longer there. We've got the satellite relay station that transmits messages from Petra to everywhere else. Got the crater with a Storm Shepherd and his followers over there. I've got a invisible old blue over here from where you guys got lost.
Which time?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to ask.
I'm like, GM layer, let's make that go away.
See what small icons. All right, so that's my dude. All right.
Let's go peek at the polls and see if y'all made your choices. So, we've got, I'll put it in the chat. We got starting.
It looks like the bad guy.
Looks like we've got. Your morals are somewhere between we do what we gotta and we're not assholes.
They're kind of, they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, we're not assholes. We will do what we have to, but we're not gonna be dicks about it.
Exactly.
You know?
You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. Push us? Well, yeah.
Means you guys are willing to stand up for what's right at the moment. You got that frontier morality.
Well, what's right for us?
What's right for our pocketbooks?
Throwing sand panther teeth and claws. The hell? Oh, that must have been the last one. Sorry.
Oh no, that
just
was
posting
me,
stuff.
clicking and showing the hey, look what could be out there. Of course, I had some extra dice modifications in there.
Our first RG. No,
Your first rig.
Yes.
I was typing too fast.
You're good. We got it. We remember. We know.
Let's see. Your ally looks to be Leah.
Yeah. She got medical supplies. You don't like the mob boss? Would he give you some bad cyber? Hate when that happens.
And we're going to throw Captain Miro out there, too, as an ally. Bam.
I don't know if I trust him. He sounds sketchy. At least to a gnome.
Well, I gotta bring race into it.
Because we are downtrodden,
Oh.
held down, disrespected. Yeah, see, what an asshole. Believes in helping other people as long as they contribute to his cause. Yeah, screw you.
Tell me what you really think.
We're going to see a different side of mob boss Jahamid. As he's going to be your group's nemesis. He's probably going to send a bunch of crew out there in a rig called Old Blue and have them fuck with you guys.
Great, we're going to be running into our past characters.
As all of a sudden you're at this momentary pause where you guys are caught flat-footed and there's a rig with its cannon pointed down at you, and the only thing you hear in the howling winds of the planet
Cybele talking
is Cybele says you will surrender to Cybele. Your rig will be drawn back as salvage. So says Cybele.
I will be killing Cybele quickly.
Or maybe this will show us how Old Blue got left out there destroyed eventually. Maybe you guys are going to be the ones that trash Old Blue and leave it for salvage.
Dun, dun, dun.
Had some good stuff on it, if I recall.
We don't know if this is the before the other campaign or after the campaign yet.
Yeah, we could wreck it to get revenge on the mod boss.
Yeah, right.
You hear this
Like, oh,
fancy
you really love this
blue
thing?
chrome
Fuck you.
rig is his baby.
Right.
It still has paint on it.
Right.
It's got colonial blue. You can't even find that shit no more.
And if it's got the old crew in it, they had some good stuff on them, so we, find some good stuff.
I can loot my own corpse.
No, see, I was referring to you guys are the ones that caused Old Blue to be left at that way station. Basically a prequel campaign.
Could be. Could be.
You're the ones that made it go from 2 blue fenders to 1 blue fender.
Yeah, could be why he didn't like us.
So has everybody picked an obligation?
Not yet. I'm still trying to translate all this equipment onto my sheet.
What about names? Dixon Baker, okay. Oh, look at that. It's even got an image.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he looks pretty modded there. Looks like.
Yep. All those mods and they don't do a thing.
Right? He has stuff just glued on his armor, make it look like he's more modded than he is.
He's a mod poser. They're like, oh man, look at that guy. He's got all these mods and most of them are using spirit gum to hold on.
He's a mod fraud.
They're placeholders.
That was pretty good. Come on.
It was pretty something.
Yeah, they're placeholders for what he wants to have.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bunch of USB ports all over him.
So many. Actually, no, USB is terrible. Dust getting in that, awful.
Ooh, yeah, that would be bad.
Coax cables only.
So let me give you a couple examples of colonist obligations. We've got disgrace. The colonists did something shameful. We've got philanderer. Colonies tend to be small spaces, and if a being gets around, word gets around too. We got exiled, going up against politically connected members of the such and such in a good way, and becomes exiled from that community. We got contracted. You've entered into a long-term contract with somebody. We got bounty.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's totally give the law dog a bounty. We've got debt, which is classic. We've got favor, so you owe a small community a favor. Would totally work for the dust lens out there. You've got family. Oh, when those family obligations come up. You've got responsibility. You've got, in the new colony, you've got responsibility to the rest of your fellow settlers.
I think frontier justice